What are the short-term targets for XRP? Many traders are having that question right now as XRP is tapping $3. So guys, in today's video, we are going to explore the short-term targets of XRP, and we are going to use things like Elliot, wave theory, and fractal comparisons. So let's jump straight into it. And first of all, XRP is just very bullish, right? Like we said in yesterday's video, we have a nice U-shaped bottom that we have seen so far here, and we broke above the previous high, which is just extremely bullish. But we are going to run sooner or later into some more heavy resistance, right? So what is that resistance going to be? What could it be? Well, first of all, guys, I want to use Elliot wave theory right here with you. And Elliot wave theory is basically a tool that you can use in order to count waves in price action. So Elliot is a theory that's basically based on the emotional state is reflected in the markets. The emotional state of the market participants is reflected in the market, and most of the time that goes along with a 5-wave structure. And all these waves, they have like certain characteristics, like how you can recognize them. And I have to say, it's pretty difficult to do this in a right way. So maybe if you have some feedback, you can drop them in the comment section down below. I do have some experience with Elliot wave theory, but I just find it very interesting to use it especially to determine targets and to see a little bit where in a move we could be. So what we then, first I want to look with you guys, and this is what Alessio also said, is like we are forming like a 5-wave structure right here, this is the first wave, then we have an A, B, C correction. This is the second wave. Then we have the third wave. We are right now most likely in the third wave. And the third wave, guys, how do we know that we potentially are in the third wave? That is because the third wave is always the longest extension in the direction of the trend, which in this case is an uptrend. And the fourth wave is always, or not always, but typically a choppy correction. So this, although this doesn't really look like a fourth wave, this kind of does look like a fourth wave. And the fifth wave is then the last wave, which generally speaking is shorter, smaller than wave 3, but sometimes it is the same equal length as wave 3. So you can just put it right there. That would set a target of $12 for XRP if we would get an extended fifth wave, which would be of an equal height and size as the third wave. That would be a $12 XRP price. Guys, this is actually pretty bullish. But we are going to dive a little bit deeper into this, because there are multiple things possible, of course, because maybe the third wave that we are in right now has not been ending right here, but still has to end somewhere higher, where we are going to see a deeper fourth wave correction, and then eventually we could see a fifth wave correction. Right now it's difficult to say whether this is the case, because this correction looks pretty short for a bigger 5-wave structure. Maybe this is a number 4 correction, a fourth wave in a smaller 5th wave structure. So how could that potentially be? So we have, for example, 1, 2, and then we have 3, 4, 5. That means that this the third wave of this bigger Elliott wave structure also contains of 5 waves. So if we were to go to the daily time frame, and we are doing this just basically a little bit out of our head right now, this is a bit spontaneous, but if we were to look, for example, right here, we have this could be a first wave. This is actually very small. Maybe it could be something like this, where we have the third wave there, fourth wave there, and then we are right now in that fifth wave. That is definitely possible. But most important question is, of course, what does this mean? Are we in a bigger or shorter Elliott wave structure? What does this basically mean? Well, first of all, guys, let's say it doesn't really matter for now whether we are in a bigger third wave or whether this is a smaller third wave. What we are seeing right here definitely looks like a fourth wave correction. This specific correction right here, because a fourth wave correction often comes choppy as a triangle formation, something like this. This is something I've been seen many times before, and having such a extension definitely feels like a third wave because it is such a big extension. This doesn't look like a first wave. This is a third wave followed by a fourth wave. Then the big question is, of course, whether this fourth wave is a bigger fourth wave correction, or whether this is going to be a smaller fourth wave correction in a bigger 5-wave structure. And I will show you how it looked in previous times. But let's say that this is a fourth wave correction in a smaller structure, and right now we are in the 5th wave right here. Then I actually made some calculations about potential targets in the short-term time frame. I did that using ChatGPT. And ChatGPT told me the primary target would be of the 5th wave of the structure that we are seeing right here would be at $3.53. The secondary target would be at $4.45. And if we would get that extended target, then it would be that would be a target of $5.93. Now there are some interesting things that we are seeing as well. Divergences check. Momentum indicators like the relative strength index often show divergence in wave 5 compared to wave 3. If momentum is weakening near $3.53, it might signal a topping zone. And this is what I actually want to show you guys, because if we were to look at, let's say, $3.50, that would be right here. Then that is the first primary target of this 5th wave. And of course we can overextend. These are very arbitrary numbers, but those are based on Elliot wave theory. Right? But we can overextend. It's just a framework, a structure that we use in order to see which levels are pulling the price, which levels are magnetic, what can we do, where can we take profits, like what are some short-term targets. That is the thing the thought that we actually entertained right now. So what ChatGPT is saying here as well, that if we do reach that target, you have to watch about divergences, because divergences often mark the end of the 5th wave. And now we can see here as well, we had the 3rd wave right here, no divergences. But as you can see right now, having the 4th wave correction, as this looks like a 4th wave correction, right now in the 5th wave going to the upside, which can be an extended 5th wave, or it can be reaching the primary target. It could come along, so this is something we still have to see, with a bearish divergence. What is a bearish divergence, guys? A bearish divergence is basically when a momentum oscillator or a momentum indicator, like the one we have right here, is giving an opposite image of the price. So we have a high and a higher high in the price, which means the price goes higher. But in the momentum indicator, we actually see a lower high. That's called a divergence, a bearish divergence, and that could potentially mark the end, even though if it's short term, of a certain move. And some other indicators that we can use, for example, is the relative strength index. Here we can see it also. We had a pretty nice high right here, right now coming back up, and we still have to see how this is going to look. But let's say XRP does something like this. It goes into our primary target, then it comes a little bit down, and we are seeing the relative strength index doing something like this. Then we have again a lower high on the relative strength index, higher high in the price. That, to me personally, would show me that we are going to see a little bit a further of a correction, just to reset the sentiment and to reset the momentum indicators, basically. So let's have a look at how XRP looked basically in the past. So let's wink our eyes a couple of times, look at this price action. Then we are going to the very beautiful pump in XRP that we have seen in, what was it? This was in 2017, which I think is pretty comparable with what we are seeing right now. And here we can also see, and this was actually it looks like a very big extended 5-wave structure. If it actually is a 5-wave structure, it's a little bit difficult to say, but here you can already see many divergences happening, right? So let me show you basically what I mean, because this is also pretty spontaneous for me. Let's say we have a first wave right here coming down with a second wave, and this is the interesting discussion that I actually have not a clear answer to you guys for today's video, but you can tell me in the comment section what you think. This looks like a first wave, second wave, and this looks like, for me personally, like the third wave. This looks like the fourth wave, and then we are coming to the fifth wave. And let me draw the fifth wave right here. So why does this again look like the fourth wave? Well, guys, if you know what I just said, like you can see, this is for me personally, this is really a fourth wave structure. It's a very long period of time that we have this correction. Maybe we could even draw it a little bit better like this. But this definitely looks like a fourth wave structure. So if we then zoom out, it looks like we have a first wave, second wave correction, third wave, which is the longest in the direction of the trend, which we have seen right here, which is a very strong trend basically. That then we have most likely an extended 5. So let me check if that's similar to what we have seen on the third wave. Not really. So it is extended. It's definitely it is a long fifth wave, but it's not a replication of the third wave that we have seen before. So that would mean that it would already be reaching $12 right here. But this is, again, we have to see it in perspective. There are these resistance levels that are coming into the price as well. So I think we have to be a little bit, we can compare these two situations, but we also have to be realistic in the sense that the market cap of XRP was way lower right here, and that we can maybe expect a similar structure, but it will not be completely the same, especially not in terms of percentage gains, because this asset, even though it has been held underwater by the SEC, it still has matured more than it was right here. Okay, so if you look at this structure, and then we can also see, for example, at the end of the fifth wave, if we look at the relative strength index, for example, we have a bearish divergence. So we have a high right here, then we come in with a higher high, and then we do that actually with a lower high on the momentum indicator, and that marked the end of the basically of the fifth wave. And we can see that also right here in the third wave. But then if we have to zoom in on the 5-wave structure of that third wave. So every wave count right here, this bigger wave count, consists of a 5-wave structure in the shorter term time frame. So we have 1, 2, and then we have, what is 3, 4, maybe this 3, 4, 5. So this extension looks pretty decent. And if we zoom in right here and maybe get rid of the bigger count, because it will be a little bit difficult to see. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. You see again this fourth wave structure, guys. This looks like a smaller version of what we are seeing right here, because this is the wave 3 that we are counting right now, guys. I hope you can still follow it, because it is pretty difficult to follow. There's also a lot of rules, but it's definitely very interesting. But if we look at the fifth wave structure, guys, at the end of the fifth wave structure, as you can see right here, tapping into the resistance. We are tapping into the resistance that is coming along with a lower high on the momentum indicator right here, and a lower high on the relative strength index, also momentum indicator, marking therefore the end of the fifth wave with this divergence. That's what I'm trying to say. So what I'm trying to say right now, in simple terms, I think we are right. We are either right here at this level if this would be a fractal, we are either here and we are right now in that fifth wave, or, and that would be a little bit more pessimistic, we are in this. We just completed this fourth wave. Well, if we really look at this fractal, it looks definitely more plausible that we are right now here, which is actually extremely bullish. And this would eventually, if we then go back to the weekly time frame, guys, I hope this is interesting for you to listen to. But then we can actually reach the top of this channel. So that would mean that we have a one wave, second wave. We are right now in the third wave, wherever that is going to end with this fifth wave that's going to end the third wave. So that can shoot up to here with an extended. It can be to a primary target. Let's say it will extend a little bit. Then we have a fourth wave. And I don't know how low that fourth wave is going to go. Let's just say it will go to, I just put an arbitrary number. And then we have that fifth wave really coming and really giving that last blast for XRP, reaching the targets that we have been talking about of maybe 12, 20 US dollars. Like you can see right here, like big green candles. Personally, I think this definitely makes a lot of sense. So back to the question, the shorter term targets for XRP right here are, I believe, when we use Elliot wave theory, is the first one $3.50. That makes a lot of sense because that's actually the middle of the channel. I mean, that's from the structure in the past that has been showing a lot of significance. It even showed significance in 2017, so it will probably show significance right now as well. This is something that we have to see still unfolding. We could be seeing these bearish divergences coming along in that resistance, so take that in mind. Then we most likely have finished the third wave of a bigger 5-wave structure. Then we are entering a 4th wave correction, which will be somewhere in this time frame, followed by a 5th wave, and that 5th wave, that is the last wave of this structure that can be extremely bullish, like we have seen right here, like Ripple often does, very short and explosive, but it doesn't have to be as big as the one we have seen in the third wave. So if we were to replicate the third wave, so let's say we do something like this and we correct, this is very arbitrary, but you can see the point, we remain in the structure, so the plan would still stand that XRP can reach levels of 20 US dollars, and I'm still standing by that. Even though we have a warning from Alessio Rastani, I do sense, of course, as a trader and as an analyst, I do sense that the sentiment is very positive. I do believe that, and I also believe, like I said in yesterday's video, it's also smart. Even though it looks like the price goes higher and the probability is that the price goes higher, it's still smart to take some profits now and then, only for your own feeling already, right? If you bet the whole farm, which I actually did, bet the whole farm on this asset, and then just you can't let go of it, you want to just keep on and you want to really time the exact top, that attitude, that mindset often goes against you. That's what I personally felt. But of course, you also don't want to take too much profits too early. So you got to find a balance in that. What's your own risk tolerance? What do you feel? Maybe you should look within your own intuition. But for me personally, sometimes it's just good to taking some chips off the table, because you can also trust in yourself, right? Like, you can trust in yourself, you can treat yourself, and you can share it with others, because anyhow, when it will increase, you will gain more because you will still have a bag, and anyhow, if it will not increase or you won't have money, you're always able to make it back, basically. So that is the way how I look at it. Now we are going to have a look at this chart, and this is basically confirming what I just said, and that is the XRP against Bitcoin chart. This is actually, this is just breaking out on the multiple resistances, and this one also comes into some like heavy resistance, like the middle of the channel. The middle of the channel often, as you can see right here, has been acting as very big levels of interest. It has been either acting as resistance, or when we blast through, just straight up, right? When we coming up, it comes down, it has been acting as support, right? It's acting as support. The moment we trade below it, it took a very long time. Actually, the moment we traded below this, we never really broke above this level again and hold it. But I believe this is going to happen, and one of the signs that we are seeing is already that we broke above this declining resistance. It looks like on the monthly, we are already breaking this red resistance. But yeah, January has still 2 weeks to go. So it would be very beautiful if we can close the monthly above the middle of the channel, because maybe we can see something like this then there, where we just like push through the middle, and maybe like you can see right here, this is the behavior of XRP. Generally, when it goes, it doesn't look back. Like we can see in the candles right here, the moment we broke the middle of the channel, it just took 2 months to basically went to the top of the channel. And this is in Bitcoin, against Bitcoin valuation, right? So definitely very, very bullish structure still. Although in the shorter term time frame, like we said in those wave counts, we could be seeing some corrections, right? Nothing goes up in a straight line. It's something you gotta accept as well. We gotta accept that risk, and if you cannot handle that risk, then you gotta rebalance your portfolio a little bit. Then we go to the XRP dominance, and this is something that I've mentioning a lot, which I have not actually seen anyone else mentioning. But what we can see right here is that since 2017, we basically been in a downtrend, and it looks like the downtrend has been broken to the upside. And of course, this also right now runs into a little bit resistance, and we could always chop around a little bit or maybe get a correction. But generally speaking, this pattern, a falling wedge formation breaking out to the upside, the target is the top of the wedge. So there is, what I'm trying to say here, guys, there is still a lot of growth potential for XRP dominance. There's still a lot of growth potential for XRP against Bitcoin, and there's still a lot of growth potential for XRP against US dollars, which of course will be of course the most interesting chart for now. But yeah, like I said, I think the Elliot wave count will tell us a little bit where we are. We can maybe more easily, it's easier to handle certain storms or to handle certain situations when we can anticipate it, and when we can basically already see it as a form of reality, visualize it, and then when it's happening, we know like, okay, this is probably the fourth wave correction. Might go a little bit steep, but we still most likely get the fifth wave. There are no guarantees in trading. That's also why I'm saying, if you are just like me, very much in the profit right now, because I went all in right here roughly at 70 cents, then it's just more than logical to even though it's very little, to just take a little bit profits, treat yourself, share it with others, and cultivate, be able to be less attached and be able to take profits. Because if you cannot take profits right now because you're only looking at the big numbers, believe me, it's going to be difficult to take profits whenever we are at the big numbers. Maybe you're one of the lucky ones, maybe you are doing it perfectly, but it didn't work for me for the past many years. But maybe this time is different. Who knows? I got my own strategy. But yeah, like I said, of course, my main position is still in XRP, and I'm still going to hold this because it still looks we haven't met our primary target, and I think that is the target that we are going to, most likely going to hit. I thought it was $3.60 before, as you guys know, on this YouTube channel. But after discussing a little bit with ChatGPT, he talked me down 7 cents to $3.53. So yeah, very interesting. But also, you know what's the nice thing with XRP? What I actually like about this token is XRP moves fast. It's not like a token that you have to wait. Yeah, okay, this period you have to wait, but once it goes, it goes. That we have seen right here. Like this is not much time. We just go, and then the fourth correction maybe took a little bit time for May until November. So yeah, that took a little bit of time. Maybe we are going to see a period like this as well, where we have like this took 200 days for the momentum and sentiment to cool down a little bit. This is also, again, guys, something we can anticipate, because if this were to happen, if this something like this would replicate, you might want to look for different opportunities in the crypto market. Maybe a lot of altcoins are going to pop in these times after we completed the fifth wave. Who knows? But it's actually good to have a little bit of an understanding of this market structure, because you will be able to position yourself a little bit better around it. And I will try to do my best as I can to educate myself as much as possible, and to try to understand it very good, and to try to explain it to you in a simple way as far as I can understand it. Okay guys, that was it for today's super technical video. I hope if you are still watching right now, well, kudos to you, because there's probably a lot of information. If you don't understand something, just ask in the comment section. I maybe am able to give you an answer on your question. But overall, things are looking pretty good, but do expect nothing goes up in a straight line. There are going to come corrections, and it looks like we are getting closer to a potential short-term correction after going into these targets of $3.53, $4.45, and $5.93. And it would be extremely crazy, guys, I said this in the Discord as well, if XRP would top in the third wave at $5.89, 589. That would be so matrix glitchy if that were to happen. But that would actually be beautiful in this world, because there are so many crazy things happening that we wouldn't even be surprised anymore to see XRP, for example, like topping with this third wave around these levels. It would be beautiful. Beautiful sign, beautiful symbol. Okay guys, that was it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't, make sure to hit the bell icon so you get a notification whenever I upload a new video. Wish you a beautiful day, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video. Bye bye guys.